Hello there folks, my name is Ben and welcome to another Shots Fired Airsoft video. Today you join me in a slightly different setting. This is the middle of my living room and I'm here because I've got a very long airsoft gun which we're unboxing today. And this is pretty much another one of my sort of how cheap can you go for reasonable performance. This is a bolt action sniper rifle, and one of the main things it has got to live with is it going to be anywhere near as good as the Cyma CM701B that we had on here a long time ago now? And one of the questions we asked this retails for about £95, 90-ish quid. It is no doubt a lot cheaper than that if you can find it on the continent or even from Hong Kong or somewhere itself. This is essentially a Double Bell VSR-10. And I was curious about this because obviously we've had double bell pistols on the channel and I actually quite enjoy using them. The 17L they do that I've got is a fantastic pistol, and once we've got over the initial sort of tolerance and problems and all that sort of stuff, it has since worked really well. And it's one of my favourite things to use because it is very accurate and it does fire over quite a long range for what is essentially a pistol. Does that transfer over into their sort of Springer side of things? And so I thought we'd start off with the archetypal sort of sniper rifle, the VSR-10. And I believe that this is compatible with all sort of VSR-10 bits and bobs, so you can upgrade it and all that sort of jazz. But I specifically went for this one, which we will open the box in a sec. There's nothing really to look at in the box. Got a nice carry handle, and apart from that, it's pretty featureless. Apart from we've got adjustable trigger sensitivity for different hand size, all metal parts for long-term use, powerful, accurate, and a high performance cost ratio. So it even says on the box, cheap and cheerful. But this is, I get kind of bored of black riffs, mainly due to the fact that once you see one black VSR-10, you kind of see them all, regardless of who makes them. So this one, in sort of a not Medal of Honor, show my age there, Call of Duty Warzone style. It's got a bit of a skin on it. Yeah, well, without further ado, let's get her open and have a look. And the reason that this is on this table is because this is so long. It actually comes, unlike the Cyma where it's broken down into two pieces. This is a full length VSR-10 and it is all in one piece when it is sent to you instead of having to bolt it together. So let's have a look in here. And there we go. Now, this is a bit of an odd choice. However, I thought it'd be a bit of a laugh to get one. You can get it in olive green, all the usual colours. This is two-tone coloured, so you don't need a UCARA license to buy this new in the UK. And like I said, this is in fact a VSR-10 sniper rifle, and it does obviously have a rail on top. If I just pop him out here, you can see the finish on it there actually isn't too bad. The stock on, well, the receiver on this is polymer. It does feel quite nice. We have a sling mount at the front to go with our sling mount at the back. Underneath we do have numerous metal parts like trigger guards, etc. Magazine is already in. It is just a standard sort of plastic style mag, and you can see that the design does actually go inside. So I'm not entirely sure how they do it. Is it hydro dips possibly? I'm not entirely sure. This is our little tactical rail on top. We have a little model number on the side there, and as far as I'm aware, that is pretty much it for markings. This is our hop-up adjuster on this side, standard VSR-10, so essentially on the side of the rifle, and you can slide that backwards and forwards. Whether this is going to be anywhere near as good as the Cyma, we shall see, but the Cyma does have a good reputation for being pretty banging out the box. As with all VSR-10 designs, essentially you take these three bolts out and it should split the barrel from the receiver for transport and storage purposes. And we do actually have a small hole in the front if you wish to fit a Harris style bipod, or you can even put a little sling sort of lanyard loop there if you should wish to. Other thing I'm going to mention with this is this actually has a 14mm negative thread on the front, which is really good because an awful lot of these will come with, I think this will come off, I have actually taken this off before, and there is a thread in here, so it's like a 20mm, I can't remember what it is, it's 20mm negative I think it is, but this actually comes in the box with an adapter to adapt it to a 14mm, so you can put a tracer or anything on it, or a silencer to make it look more tactical, or anything you want to do straight out of the box. Nothing else I've seen does this, especially not at this price point. So it's great to actually have that adapter and not have to go to Lee's Machining and actually buy one as extra and all that sort of stuff. Which it sounds silly, but if I want a Lee's Machining adapter for the front of my Cyma VSR-10, it increases the price of the gun by about 15%, which is mental. So really glad that that is in there. And you can see there at the end, actually our barrel comes right flush with that. Actually the end. So essentially there is more barrel in this, just about the most barrel they could squeeze in there. When it comes to the cylinder, we have standard bolt action. So there we are, cock back, forwards, lock it back down, and you can fire it. It's safe, the gun is empty. And we also have a safety that should lock out the trigger. Yeah, and indeed it does. So that is just a little safety trigger. We push that back, trigger safety. Push it back forward, and again I can fire it. The cylinder pull on this, or the bolt pull, is okay. I would say it's okay. It's not the smoothest one I've felt. There is a little bit of wiggle and play in it, however it does get the job done. And the trigger is very nice. Essentially it's like a zero brake trigger, so you can barely feel when it is going to go. We do have a rubberized buttstock. Not really any texturing on it or anything like that, but it is a nice soft rubber feeling buttstock. It is relatively, so if I just shoulder it, very comfortable to shoulder. And like I say, we have our standard tack system on top. Let's just thought we'd pop her on the scales just to see how much this is. This is a polymer build. There are various metal elements like most of the cylinder, the outer barrel, the inner barrel, the trigger, the tack rail, everything is all metal apart from the actual receiver, the mag and the buttstock, which obviously you don't really want made out of metal. It'd be nice if it was made out of wood maybe. This comes up to 2,354 grams, so it is a very lightweight sniper, and essentially it's similar to the similar to the Cyma VSR-10 that we had on the channel a little while ago. It looks like it's going to be a nice little runnable package. Whether or not it's any good or not, we shall find out. So the reason I've got this is I want to see if the ability to fling a heavyweight BB downfield is shared with the cheaper end bolt action sniper rifles. I'm not that well versed in them at all. I must admit the Cyma VSR-10 blew me away, but that's because I'm not really used to the idea of sending BBs that far out. And the fact that it could hit 75 metres and get on a target was marvellous, but I know that in the airsoft sniping world, people can often hit 100, 110 metres with these things. Okay, not this maybe, but I want to see if this is any good at that kind of distance, or whether we are going a bit too cheap here. I like this design. It just looks silly and fun, which is fair enough. If you wanted to make it more suitable for running out in the field, you could always camo tape it. Let's face it, most of these things, if you're using them a serious end, A, you're not going to use this in the first place, and B, they're covered in gillies and vegetation and camo tape and all sorts, so you never see what the original gun looks like anyway. Yeah, comfortable, fairly slick in the operation. Simple mag. I believe it holds about 30 rounds. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to check up on that. You'll see in the review. This is like the last unboxing that I've got at the moment listed. Apart from maybe a couple of Nerf ones. But I wanted to get the airsoft stuff kind of out of the way first. So yeah, I've been Ben. It's been a Shots Fired Airsoft video. This will be quite a fun one to watch because it'll either be absolutely tragic or it will be good and entertaining to watch. We'll have all the slow-mo footage from the scope cam watching the BBs go down the field, and we'll see how she performs. We'll be able to watch them all the way down there, so if it's all over the shop, we'll see. Anyway, so I've been Ben, the Shots Fired Airsoft video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.